Welcome to another mind map video. I'm Jan. I'm in my counselling practice today and I'm not on the yoga mat in my lunch hour, taking a little break. So I thought I would do the video that I've been planning to do all week and just got around to on workplace stress. So I have produced a lovely yoga video that is going to be coming out in a short while. So if you would like to have a look at that, that's on Mind Mat Yoga, and some really lovely yoga to kind of reduce the stress, the workplace stress. So let's talk about workplace stress. So how do you know whether you're going through some workplace stress? You're likely to have a change in your mood if you are suffering. Now, whether you're self-employed or whether you're working for an employer, if the workload becomes such that it's interfering with your happiness and your sense of okayness, then it will affect your mood. You're also likely to potentially have a loss of motivation, because when we're stressed, we don't have the same attitude to engaging with our work, and we can lose confidence at the same time as that. So it can affect how much we want to invest, and we can become overwhelmed, so we then want to back off. And if we are suffering, then there's a good chance it might impact on other areas of our life, like our sleep. So it's not uncommon to have poor sleep when we're stressed around our work or around the workplace, and we can be very easily triggered. So if we are suffering from that kind of stress when we're in an environment, then we can be sensitive. So that means that we could either get angry a lot quicker, or we might find ourselves being kind of very sensitive or even tearful and emotional, because that stress in our sympathetic nervous system, which if you watch my other videos, I talk about quite a lot, means that the emotions are going to be very much to the fore. So our cognitive ability, our kind of keeping things level and straight and stable and secure and, kind of feeling in a place of okayness, that can go out of the window. And because of that, also, we might find ourselves eventually, if we can't see a way out of this, withdrawing. So we might withdraw in the workplace, or we might withdraw socially or in our families, going back to our families after a very stressful day, and we may not be in a position where we want to interact. So it's quite a thing. Now, what do we do about it? Now, first you're going to have to identify, if you can, the cause of the stress at work. So is it the workload? Is it financial? Is it the work culture? Is it a particular person in the work culture? Workplaces can be places where there are bullying and sometimes very unsavoury behaviours towards work colleagues or employees from employers. So first of all, you've got to try and identify what the cause of that is, because if you can't identify the cause, then it's difficult to know maybe what to do about it. So once you've identified the cause, then make a plan of action. So you may start by bullet pointing the things that are upsetting you or you're finding stressful at work, and then you can look at, okay, so what's my plan of action? What could I potentially do to change those things? And if you find that quite a difficult process to go through, then actually somebody that can help you from the coaching perspective can be very helpful here. So you may be able to find some coaches online that can help you identify how you resolve these issues in the workplace. But also, if it's a very emotional thing, it might be that it's some counselling that can help you. Now, some employers will have the facility for what we would call employee support or employee assistance. So that is a free counselling session that's available through the workplace, and it should be entirely confidential. So it's worth having a look to see whether you have that in your workplace if you are an employee. But if you work for yourself, then have a look on the internet and see who you can find that might be able to help you with the emotional side of this, a counsellor, or may be able to help you in the coaching sense of how to find your way through these issues that are presenting that you're feeling kind of stuck in. And of course, talk to your employer. That might also be the way forward if you have an issue. Outside of that, you have to really start to engage your self-care. So if you're not looking after yourself, it's much harder to tackle any of the issues that come up. So make a plan to make sure that your habits are healthy, so that you are doing your exercise, that you are having enjoyable times out, like what do you do for fun? And are you sleeping as good as you could sleep? Could you improve your sleep? So do you need to get off of your emails, get off of your phone? Do you need to look at that workload and also say, right, after a particular time, I'm not going to go into my emails? Do you need to set your boundaries for that and make sure that you're improving your ability to start to slow down and, check into the right place before you can even go to bed at night? And so I will talk to my clients about making sure the room's the right temperature, you've got nothing to distract you in the bedroom, that you're getting ready for bed at the right time, so it's no good falling asleep on the sofa and then having to get up and wash up and clean your teeth. So all these things to really help with that self-care. Eating healthily, making sure you're not skipping meals, not overdosing on caffeine, caffeinated drinks to keep going, because that's a terrible cycle to get into, and it increases the stress because caffeine will again affect your adrenals, and if you're stressed, you're often full of adrenaline anyway, so you don't actually need to be pushed a little further. So you might have to look at your coffee intake or your caffeine intake and make sure you stop that after midday. So yeah, and having fun. Are you living just to do that kind of work? Is work all consuming? Is your identity associated with work alone and not an identity as as a partner, as a mother, as a brother, as a family member, as a friend, of all these other things that are really important, that we have these good connections going in our life? And if we put all of our eggs in the basket of work, then sometimes we don't get enough time to invest in the other things that really make us feel good about ourselves. So really think about the holistic side of this. Are you enjoying life? Are you having time out from work? Have you got good relationships, good eating habits, good sleeping habits? Do you exercise? Do you have activities that you can do that are kind of stress busting activities, whatever that could be, whether you're someone who likes to play netball, or you're a runner, you're a cyclist, what do you do outside of this that puts all the good kind of chemicals in your bloodstream that you need? And exercise is great for that. If you really feel stuck, as I say, do reach out to a professional that can often give you that kickstart and just get you in the right direction. Counselling can be really helpful, and so can coaching, because coaching is probably a little bit more like defined in some of the ways you might set out a plan with your work or with your workplace issues. And the counselling also can be really helpful if you're finding that you've got huge emotional struggles, that you've lost your confidence, that you've lost your motivation, you're feeling sad, you're very, very angry or despondent. So counselling can help there too. But do go and check my mind mat yoga video for workplace stress. Get on that mat, practice, find that place where you can move your body, you can find the calm just for that particular moment in your day. You're doing something really positive for yourself. So if you're enjoying these videos, please do like and subscribe, and I will either see you on the mat or maybe back again in my counselling practice. That's janslatercounselling.co.uk if you want to look me up on my website. But for now, take care.